Hi everyone, I'm back. I took a couple days off because there was so much going on during Pride Month and all our events and just a lot of personal stuff as well. But we're here in San Francisco now. We just got here yesterday and I'm gonna be here until the end of June because we're gonna do Pride here in San Francisco, which is the last weekend of June. So 28th, 29th. Yesterday we had an event that I want to talk about today. It was definitely a learning experience. It was a event where I loved being there as a guest. I do not think that it was a good event for the company, which is disappointing. Yeah, as I said, this is all a learning curve, and this was the first event I locked down back in October last year, so way before the wine was even ready. We already had the event planned, and there was a lot going on. It was at this diner style place, which there was a drag show, and there were people being honored, and obviously with everything going on, this is very important for the community right now. And it was something that was really historic and riot focused. And it was a really cool place, like super cool diner and everything. And the first thing that I didn't think was good. So first of all, okay, let's start from the beginning. I got there right before it started, just because we drove up from LA. So we were just, it was just like really stressful, and I couldn't make it to be there like an hour in advance. I maybe also should have done more research, but since everything was so packed the last month, it was just really hard for me to get that. One second, my dog is crying. Xander! So we got there and I realized that they were gonna serve all drinks out of like these teacups, because that was kind of like the vibe they were going for. And that's obviously not something that fits our brand very well. Like, I want people to see the color of the wine. I want people to see the bubbles. I want people to see like the foam, all that. So I saw it and I was like, oh no. So I should have done a better job in like talking to them to actually know and be really sure of what they're gonna do, so I can intervene and actually bring my own glasses. But since everything was so packed, it just was hard. And when I saw that, I was just like, it was really disappointing for me, because that's not how I want our wine to be presented. And I also don't think that's a good way for us to sell the wine, because people enjoy the color, people enjoy the wine per se. It's something, yeah, it's something that definitely I don't want to happen again, because that's not something, it wasn't an event that was great for selling. As I said, it was an event I loved being there. There was a great drag show, there were elders that were like honored, it was awesome. But an event that is so emotional and like heavy and focused on riots and like history, I don't really feel comfortable be like, hey, buy my wine, like I'm doing sales here. It just wasn't a sale event, and I just did not expect it to be like that at all. The people are amazing, so I think it was just a miscommunication, and a lot had changed from when we locked it down in October to present day. But it was just not a sales event, and people were like so focused on everything that was going on, like drag performance and the honoring of the elders. And I just didn't feel comfortable to walk around and be like, hey, buy my wine, because there's so much more important stuff going on at that event, right? And I don't want to be that salesperson, and I felt like it would maybe also come off as really disrespectful, and that's obviously not something that I ever want to happen, because I know that there's bigger problems than me having to sell my wine, right? And more history, but I still need to sell it. So I don't think that is an event that was good for me at all, or good for the brand. I did pass out flyers, and you never know, like maybe someone's gonna order, maybe something is gonna come out of it, and I really do hope so. they did like mention us in a toast and everything, and people were like clapping for us being a sponsor. It just didn't feel, I just didn't feel like it was a good fit. And that's something that also like taught me to actually, even if it comes off as annoying to people, I just have to ask all these questions every time and be sure to have all this information before I say, yes, I'm gonna do an event. Because I do feel like I just said yes to too many events because I was so excited to see actually, oh my God, I'm this new company and people already want to have me at their events. And I was like, this is amazing. I gotta take everything I can. But that is actually not what I should do going forward, because it doesn't make sense to do many events, but then events like that where actually nobody's gonna remember the brand because everybody is there for a different reason. Better do one event or no event, but focus on online marketing, or do one event where it's actually like I can sell, like the last event we did in LA. So I think that's something that I've been saying so many times in my videos, is like, no, don't just like say yes to all events. But I also think that having said yes to so many events really made me learn in this month, and like only our first month, right, which events are actually fitting, what questions I have to ask before saying yes to an event. And I think that's actually why I appreciate the fact that I did all these events, because I think it taught me like what am I looking for? What do I need to have an event? Like what does the event have to offer me or the brand that it makes it make sense for us? And I think these questions, I learn every event that I do, I'm learning more about which questions I have to ask. And that's why I'm really grateful for having done all these events, because it's still brand visibility. I can still do content from that. Even if it doesn't convert, it teaches me about the next event that I want to do, the next event that I'm going to do. And even if I have to say no to many people, that's just how it is, because at the end of the day, I have to make money and I have to sell my bottles. And I think that's something that I definitely like am taking away, like while we're approaching the end of Pride Month. And it's a learning curve, you know. I am sometimes I'm really struggling with that, and I'm thinking that I'm throwing money out of the window, but I do think that it's so early in the process, and I have to remind myself that. But I do think it's also really hard for any entrepreneur. You just like, sometimes you just spiral, right? And you're like, oh shit, how am I gonna pay me next month? How am I gonna pay my warehouse costs? How am I gonna pay shipping costs? Like all these things. And I think that's something that it's a mental challenge, and your mind is playing games on you and making you think that you're not doing the right thing. But I think building a brand is so hard because you have to believe in it without getting a lot of sales back in the first month, the first year. And that's why I like to read a lot about it and like do research online to see actually that this is normal. It's not normal to make $2,000 in your first month, but I'm building a brand and I'm building something that will last in the future. And that's something that I'm telling myself literally every time I'm like going into this bad mindset. I'm like, this is actually just like the start. We're building a base right now, a foundation for a better future, and like a brand that is invested in the community. And yeah, I think that's like kind of my takeaway. I'm excited to make more content here in San Francisco. I love San Francisco. It's a great city. We have an event tomorrow. I'm also going to Napa tomorrow, so it's gonna be a big day. And my wife is gonna work the event tomorrow as well as a bartender. So she's gonna make some money, which is awesome. And we're gonna have a blast here in San Francisco. I'm gonna make like so much content. I wanna put out flyers here as well, because I only had the possibility to do that in LA, because that's where I am, right? But I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to get some business here and see what we can do here in the Bay Area. and I'm gonna take you guys with me. I'm gonna be more consistent. The last 2 days were just, it was a mess, but I'm gonna be back on daily posting. I really hope to grow my audience on YouTube too. I know it takes time, so I enjoy making this I enjoy making these videos, so I'm just gonna keep going. I appreciate every support I can get and get me through this journey and be a part of it. And like, I need to focus on enjoying the process. That's the most important thing. You have to enjoy what you do, and good is gonna come out of it. Another thing, I forgot my mic, so voice quality is not gonna be that great. Sound quality, I'm sorry, I might buy one. I still want to buy like one of these sticks for like vlogging, so maybe I'm going to buy a mic and like one of these sticks, just because I want to have my videos be good quality, obviously. And yeah, we got a hotel here in Union Square, so that's where I'm gonna film all the vlogs out, or like the sit-down videos, and then vlogging in the street, showing you guys tomorrow in Napa. I'm gonna do a bunch of videos from there, so I can show you a little bit about like where we are actually. And that's it. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate you. Follow us on Instagram at Wings Wine Company. Like and subscribe to my channel, Wine and Hustle. And I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Cheers, everyone. Happy Pride.